Hello students, let us begin with the chapter number 3, the Indus Valley Civilization. Kindly keep your books in front of you as we begin the reading. On page number 24, where we see get set, please mark it, it is only for a reading purpose. Now this Indus Valley Civilization, also one of the valley civilizations which we've studied in the first chapter, and few civilizations which we know. One of them was Mesopotamian and another is Indus Valley. These are the river valley civilizations. So let us begin. The discovery of the Indus Valley civilization and the subsequent excavations of the Indus sites led historians and archaeologists to conclude that a great civilization existed in India around 4,500 years ago. So, during the excavations, historians figured out that there was a bigger civilization, the great civilization that existed about 4,500 years ago in India. So, that is how we come to know about the Indus Valley civilization. However, recent excavations at Bhirana in Haryana have led experts to believe that the Indus Valley civilization is about 8,000 years old. Bhirana has emerged as the oldest Indus site. So, the excavations that happened a few years ago that tell us that a site which is Bhirana in Haryana is the oldest Indus Valley civilization site, and it is aging about 8,000 years ago. And I want you to underline these important lines. Bhirana has emerged as the oldest Indus site, and you can also underline that it is 8,000 years old. And there you can put a question, children. The question can be, name the oldest Indus site. Name the oldest Indus site found in Haryana. The answer to this will be Bhirana. So let's move on. Now in Indus Valley civilization, during excavations, few important sites were found. Site means places, and that reflected that their civilization occurred in these few places. So the paragraph says main site. Okay. For many years after the discovery of Harappa, Mohenjo-daro and other nearby sites, it was believed that the civilization was limited to a small area near river Indus. So please underline these two names, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. These are very familiar names to all of you. If you've seen a movie called Mohenjo-daro, that was also made. Harappa and Mohenjo-daro are the two famous sites which is of Indus Valley civilization. Now what it says is that many years after discovering these two sites, it was believed that this civilization, which is the Indus, was limited to a small area near river Indus. So earlier when excavation was not done much, they realized that only these two sites are there, and it is limited to a small area near river Indus. Later excavations, however, revealed that the Indus civilization was spread over a much larger area. So gradually over the years, when they start excavating, they realize that it's not just limited to Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, but Indus Valley civilization was much larger, largely spread. Indus remains have been found in Kot Diji, Amri, Chanhu-daro, which is all these three are present in the present day Pakistan, Bhirana, Banawali and Rakhigadi in Haryana. These three are in Haryana. Rupad, which is in Punjab, Alamgirpur, which is in Uttar Pradesh, Kalibangan, which is in Rajasthan, Lothal, Rangpur, Rojdi, Dholavira, which are in Gujarat, and at many other places. So please underline these sites which have been found. So many are there. And if just look at it, you can see that how it is on a geographical location. It is saying that it was few sites were found in Pakistan, then Haryana, then Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat. So more or less, if we look at the northwestern side, if you look at the map on page 25, you can see that shaded brown area which is reflecting the extent of the Indus civilization, okay, which we also call as Harappan. So we're just going to learn. So that area, those areas were under the Indus Valley civilization. So these sites are very important. Please underline. You can have a question in exam which says name few sites in India where remains of Indus civilization was found. You can put up a question there. Name few sites in India where remains of Indus civilization is found. Next is, since the main sites of this civilization, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, underline, were found in the valley of river Indus, scholars have named it the Indus Valley civilization. So these two sites were found near river Indus, so that is why scholars called it the Indus Valley civilization. It is also called the Harappan civilization. Underline this line. It is also called the Harappan civilization. Why? As Harappa was the first site to be excavated. Now there is a reason of it being also called as Harappan civilization, because the Harappan this site Harappa was the first site which was excavated. So for Indus valleys, that is why it was also known as the Harappan civilization. So you can put a question there. Why is Indus Valley civilization also called the Harappan civilization? The answer to that will be, it is also called the Harappan civilization as Harappa was the first site to be excavated. So next is sources. So about any civilization, in the last chapter also we had few sources. I told you the sources are those information, those mode of information that we get. So here also this civilization, what have been the sources that tell us about this particular civilization? Much of our knowledge about Indus Valley civilization is based on archaeological sources such as the granaries at Harappa. Now please underline, first circle archaeological sources and then start underlining granaries at Harappa, the Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro, and artifacts such as ornaments, pots, statues, seals, and so on. So I explained this sources also in the last chapter. There are two kinds of sources. One is archaeological, one is literary. Archaeological refers to anything which is a building, seals, ornaments, all those things. And literaries mean anything which is a written record. So here also they have archaeological sources. Now which are they? Granaries at Harappa. You can put number 1 there. Number 2 is Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro. Number 3 is artifacts such as ornaments. 4 is pots. Then we have statues. 5 seals. 6 and so on. So these are the different archaeological sources that tell us about the Indus Valley civilization. Then they say the Indus script has not yet been deciphered, and therefore so much knowledge about the civilization still lies hidden. Now like we write in Hindi and English, it is a script, okay. Similarly, Indus Valley people also developed their written language, which is their script, but that at that time they did not use our alphabets. They used pictures and images or anything else which defined a particular language. But what has happened, it was such difficult that even historians have not been able to decipher it. Decipher means decode it, what it means. So if they can't decode, if they could not decode the whatever those people used to write in that script, is not been able to figure out after so many years also. And that is why much knowledge still we don't have about Indus Valley people. So whatever knowledge we've got is only through the archaeological sources, that is ornaments, pots, seal, statue, granary, great bath, etc., etc. So I want you to write two questions here. They are very important questions. Number 1, name the archaeological sources. Name the archaeological sources that tell us about Indus Valley civilization. And the second question would be, name the literary source. Name the literary source which was found during the excavation. Name the literary source which was found during the excavation of Indus Valley civilization. So literary sources, which one? The Indus script. Okay, so that was found also, and because of that, because it is very difficult, it is not yet deciphered. Okay, next, period. Now from what age to what age, or what year it existed? The Indus Valley civilization flourished roughly between 2500 BCE and 1500 BCE. Now let me tell you children, there are two ways that we learn the age. Now right now currently we are in the CE age, where we move in ascending order. Okay, the CE, or which we earlier used to call as AD. Okay, so now we currently refer it to the CE. So we are in year 2020 CE. The next year will be 2021. Okay, so we are moving in ascending order. But when we moved in the BCE, before Common Era, we used to move in descending order. That means that if today we are in BCE and it is year 2020, the next year would be 2019. Okay, so here it is given, Indus Valley civilization flourished roughly between 2500 BCE and 1500 BCE. So do you see the bigger number is written first and the smaller is written? Because they are going in a descending order. Though we move ahead in time, but we write in descending order. So please underline that 2500 BCE and 1500 BCE, and write down there BCE moves in descending order. So that's the time Indus Valley civilization flourished. At some places it continued even after this period. So not everywhere it ended at the same time. It was spread over a larger area. Some places it continued even after that. It existed around the same time as civilizations in Egypt, Mesopotamia and China. So at the same time, other areas also, they had their Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamia was having in Mesopotamian civilization, China was having its Chinese civilization, and during this time in India, they were having the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so I think that is good for today. Main features about the town planning, etc., we will do in the next lesson, next audio. You can give a reading again to this chapter so far what we've done. Now come to page number 30. You have new words. As I told you, these are very important. You can mark it as important on page number 30. The first one, granary. Now granary is basically, we had a blue word there on page number 24. Granaries are buildings where grain, which is wheat, rice and so on, is stored. Where people used to prepare the agriculture, through agriculture they used to get the production of crops, and whatever extra they had, so after they take it for use, whatever extra they had in the city was stored in granaries in Harappa. So that is granary. Okay. Then we have other words also that will come up as we study. So we can just crack two questions here from time to learn. The first one, A, take the correct one. Let us see. First one is, there is no Indus site in Rajasthan. Is it true or false? Okay, go back to page 24. On the right hand side you have these cities which we marked. Is there a place in Rajasthan? Yes, there was. So Kali Bangan is given in Rajasthan. So this will be false. There is one site of Indus in Rajasthan. Which is it? Kali Bangan. Okay. So next is circle the correct answers. The first one. It says Bhirana or Kalibangan has emerged as the oldest Indus site. Which one do you think is correct? Is it Kalibangan or Bhirana? Where is the answer? The answer is on page number 24, just above the main sites paragraph, last line. Bhirana has emerged as the oldest Indus site. So the correct answer is Bhirana. So I think that's good for today. You can give it a reading, children. Thank you so much.